Welcome back for our weekly talk with the Pacific Coast Business Times. Today we're joined by executive editor Tony Biasotti over Zoom. Tony, it's been many years since we worked together at the UCSB Daily Nexus newspaper. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about an article that Brooke Holland wrote for the Times on the reopening of Hearst Castle. It's been closed to visitors now for over 2 years since the start of the pandemic. Now it's just a few weeks away from opening. What do we know about the plans to open back up the 130-acre estate?
That's right. They have May 11th set as their reopening. Obviously, everything else that was shut down because of the pandemic is reopened, most of it last year. But before they could reopen, I guess it was probably January 2021, there were those heavy winter storms, damaged a bunch of the Pacific Coast Highway up around Big Sur. The PCH at Hearst Castle was fine, but the road that leads from the highway to the castle was damaged. So it's been like a year of repairing that, and apparently all the work is done now.
I know that people will be very excited to get back up there again. What did you learn about how important it is as a driver for tourism dollars in San Luis Obispo County?
Yeah, especially that northern coastal part of San Luis Obispo County, Cambria, San Simeon, Morro Bay, is all pretty tourism dependent. And they did all right during the pandemic because they got a lot of people on road trips, especially early on when people weren't flying. They wanted to be outdoors and away from big crowds. That was actually a pretty popular spot for people to drive either up from LA or down from the Bay Area. But what they were missing was international tourists, people who make longer stays, and that's what they believe Hearst Castle attracts. It is the biggest tourist attraction in the entire Tri-County region from Ventura up through San Luis Obispo, at least, among places that take tickets and count attendance. I believe it's about 850,000 people a year. And so we talked to some hotel and restaurant business owners in that area in Cambria and San Simeon, and they're very excited about this coming back because Hearst Castle tends to be on like the list if someone is going to come from Europe or Asia and spend a week in California. If they go up the PCH, they tend to stop there and often stay a night in San Simeon or Cambria and spend some money around town.
All right, so this should be a good thing for the nearby towns and businesses, and certainly everyone making the trip up or down the coast. Hearst Castle going to reopen on May 11th, owned and operated by State Parks. You can read the article that is up now on the Pacific Coast Business Times in print and online, written by Brooke Holland. Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.